guys, welcome back. So this is going to be my review and demo of the Chanel Perfection Lumiere Velvet Foundation. It has SPF 15 in it. The shade I got is B10, Beige 10. Quite a yellow based colour. I do believe there is a lighter shade with pink undertone, so I do have quite a bit of redness or pink in my skin, so I want to counteract that, so I always often go for one with a little bit of yellow or even neutral undertone. So this one's very much like the Vita Lumiere Aqua in the way that it's quite liquidy actually, so you really need to shake it up, and it's got the mixer inside, the little ball, so it's very liquidy. I'll show you the colour of this. Okay, so I'll start off with the finish. The finish is a very skin-like velvet matte. It's not a dry, cakey matte. It's a very smooth, high-quality velvet matte. Think of a soft, silky matte. And if you know me well and you have been watching my videos for a while, you know that I absolutely love dewy foundations, and I never ever go for matte foundations ever. So my skin is quite normal at the moment. I can get a little bit drier, just right around here. But basically my skin is quite normal. It's very comfortable at the moment, and I may just get a little dryness around here. I would recommend this for very dry skin or dry skin at all. I do recommend maybe for combination and definitely oily. If you're extremely oily, I don't know, depending on the climate you're in, I don't know how this will go, because it still leaves quite a shine in the skin. So if you are very oily, I don't think that this is really going to be you know, combating that oil for you, because in the demo you will see the shine that I am left with on the skin. Here in Australia, I believe this one retails right around $78, $77. Very expensive, but that's, you know, goes along with all Chanel foundations. What I really love about this is the wear time. It wears beautifully throughout the day. Now our climate here is, at the moment, it's quite warm still, and it can be quite humid at times. I always have a tendency to perspire a little bit through the T-zone of the face, and sometimes I have problems with foundations because they break up in the center. So this one didn't though. I did sweat a little bit one day and it didn't break up through the center of the face at all. If you have a little bit of a drier skin in little areas, you know, combination skin, I feel like maybe the a really nice primer would work underneath it. The foundation dries down very nicely, so when I say dry down after application, give it a few seconds and it feels basically like you're wearing a very fine setting powder on the skin. So in my demo I went ahead and just powdered through the T-zone, because a few hours I will get, in this hot weather, get a little bit of sweating, and it will become a little tiny bit shiny, just a little bit through the center. I could get a good 8 hours wear of this, and it would still look nice and clean on the skin. I don't really need to set either. I like to always set a foundation, just because I feel like it finishes the face a little bit better. So whether it would be a you know, a translucent powder, or you know, something like the Rimmel Stay Matte, or you know, your Guerlain Meteorites press powder, which is what I used just through the T-zone, just to help it sort of last a little bit longer through there. So to me, this foundation is a very beautiful, comfortable matte velvet foundation. I like that it doesn't transfer. When you touch it, it's kind of dries down, as I said. It gives a really beautiful, fresh, it gives a really natural skin-like appearance to the skin without, you know, looking heavy. It is medium to full, so I'd recommend building up a thin layer first, which is what I do with this foundation, and it just seems to work nicely. So build it up with a very thin layer, and if you want more coverage, you just keep going, and it'll end up being sort of full coverage. You could build it up nicely. So without further ado, let's get on to the demo. So I'm going to be starting off with a bare face. I've got a little bit of my Josie Maran Argan Oil on just to use as my moisturizer. I use that one daily. I'm going to be applying the foundation with Tom Ford's number 2 foundation brush. It's actually the cream foundation brush, and this is perfect. I love to use this one with any cream or liquid products. So shaking up the foundation, it's quite a liquid consistency, so really does need to be shaken up. I'm just going to apply, make sure I've got enough there on the back of my hand. Just going to dab this brush in a little bit at a time. I'm going to start in the center and just use circular motions to apply it. I'm going to be building this up very, very thinly at first. So you can see now how that's going to cover a bit of the breakouts that I have. And this is a very thin layer. This is just a little scar that I have here. Just using light circular motions. I always prefer to wear my liquid foundations over a primer, but because I want to show you the natural finish of this, you can see I've got quite a bit of shine through the T-zone, and that's taken a little bit of the shine out, and I've only got that little bit of shine is because I'm under light, plus it's the argan oil underneath. So far I've only used that much, so I've still got quite a lot left, and I'm going to use the rest to build up. This one here is just a birthmark, in case you're wondering, that I scratched and it sort of bled a little bit, so that's why it's a little red. So I've just put the very thin layer on. I'm going to apply another layer just so I can show you how it builds up. So you can see my pimples have kind of completely disappeared under the foundation. So that is the second layer complete, and you can see it's covered up quite a fair bit of the breakouts here. It's just smoothed over the skin. It still gives a skin-like effect. See how it's kind of still got a bit of a glow to it through here. I'm just going to powder my skin just a little bit through the T-zone and a little bit under the eyes. I'm going to be using this GUERLAIN Meteorites pressed powder. This powder won't give any kind of finish to the skin other than keeping it very natural, but drying down the foundation a little bit more. So I really hope you enjoyed that review. I had to share this nail polish with you. It's the new DIOR Frosted Effect nail polish in 187 Pearl, and it's what I'm wearing on my nails today. I got this yesterday and it is absolutely gorgeous. It kind of glows. It's probably hard to see on camera. It glows like a a really kind of fluorescent, very light lavender pink, and it's got a beautiful bit of sparkle to it. So my nails are still very short, and I can't wait till they grow out a bit more. So I'll give you a close-up. So this nail polish dries down to a kind of matte finish, and it's quite frosty, so it's quite a gorgeous polish, and in real life it's much more beautiful. When I first saw this, I thought it's not very exciting, but when I tested it on my nails, it is gorgeous. So check this one out if you haven't. It's very interesting.